Hi, my name is Steven Vargas, also known as Anonymous. I'm from La Puente, California, San Gabriel Valley, and I like to rap and make beats.
Damn, it feels good to wake up and be alive. Another day of life, another day to strive. Work hard to get closer to my dreams.
Before I started rapping, I was a skater, man. I was a heavy skater, man. I used to skate all day, every day, man. I used to go to this park next to my house that had an empty hockey ring. So we'll just break in there and we'll be skating all day. And yeah, that was my life, man. Just climbing on new tricks, do tricks off stairs. And that's what I was about before. I mean, I was always listening to hip hop, but I was more of a skater back then. I used to skate out. My cousin used to live in Utah, so he came over for the summer, and he was like showing me a bunch of rappers that I never heard of. So like, he would show me Nas and a bunch of like, Tribe Called Quest and all that. And then he was rapping at the time, so it made me want to like, damn, he gets down. So it made me want to like start writing and stuff. And I wasn't that good, but I caught on. The more work I put into it, the better I got at it. I would listen to nothing but, nothing from the East Coast, De La Soul, Nas, and just a bunch of other artists, Mos Def, Talib Kweli. And then, I listened to the West Coast rappers, like Dr. Dre and all that, but I wasn't too like into it. It wasn't until later I'm like, damn, I feel kind of bad because, like I need to listen to that West Coast, and I started discovering, independent artists, well, like People Under the Stairs, like Dilated Peoples. So yeah, that's the funny thing. What I liked about it the most is that you can express how you feel. So like, for example, I would see like, you would see the early rappers talking about their environments and stuff, what they see on a daily basis, and to see that, and then they're showing their truth, and the stuff that the media don't talk about, and they're able to express it and have a platform to speak on. And that's what I liked about it the most, is that you could resonate with it, even though there's some of the things I couldn't really relate to, but I can understand them. Like, like that's crazy, like it makes me think to be in their shoes. And that's what made me think like, well, I got my own story as well, and people can resonate with that as well. My biggest fear, people not taking me seriously.
Why do you think they're taking you seriously?
Because it's because when people grow up with you and they see you a certain way, so when they see you do something new, they think it's like a fad or a phase. And it's until it takes time they start realizing like, oh shit, like he's really serious, like I can see the progression in what he does, like to see him come from that and doing this. That's like the biggest fear, but with time people started realizing like, hey, he's not playing around. Before my first rap was at a Project Blow event right here in Lemur Park, and then they were just doing open mics, and my brother's like, hey, just do it. I was like, alright, so I went up there and I did it. And it was like really like nerve-wracking, like, because I was not used to being like, because I'm a person that's like real quiet to himself, and I don't really like the attention like that. But I know that when you rap, you're gonna have to put yourself in front of an audience. So I had to make myself be comfortable being uncomfortable. So I did it, and I did all right. Like it wasn't like the best, but like I still went up there and did it. And then after that, it's just slowly you get used to being on stage and in front of people. I had my cousin, because he was a lot better than me, so like I like that he was like real lyrical, so he had like inner rhymes, he had the flows and stuff, so I would like feed off of him and like try to like push myself to get better and better. And then along the way we met our first our homie, which his name was Grizzle, and our homie Cruz. They had a studio right up the street from my house when I used to live in Rialto, so I would watch them and see the chemistry they had, and then they had their own style. So just made me pay attention, like try to fix up my flow, clean up the transitions, and then be able to write a song. It was more to like, I started doing it myself, and it put more weight on my shoulders, but it pushed me in the way to get better. So yeah, I would say that they helped me along the way. So like a lot of that is from seeing them do their thing. When we first started, it was me and my cousin just doing a bunch of like freestyle rap. So we'll do songs, but it was never like a specific concept. It was just writing bars. So he'd just write a verse, and it was just like a long verse, then I'll write a long verse, and there was like no chorus. So it would be like an empty slot. And then it was cool, but like after a while, like to me, it's like I can only write so many bars. At some point, I told him like, I want to do concepts, I want to do like choruses and stuff. And he's just like, nah, I just want to rap my ass off. And then at some point we stopped making music together, but that's where I started doing it on my own, and maybe it pushed me to how to write a song, how to approach the chorus, and usually sometimes I start backwards, sometimes I start with the chorus, sometimes I just let the pen flow, you know, and I never really know where it's going until when I'm like close to the halfway, I start seeing the bigger picture, and then that's when everything falls into place. I think the hardest part is, because you hear a lot of artists and everyone has like their like specific style, whether it be gangster rap or they'll have like, you know, backpack rap or whatever, and then it's trying to find, I think the hardest part was trying to find my voice and seeing how I can put myself out there without coming off as corny or, you know, like, it's something that people can relate to, you know, like that's the hardest part. And I got more in tune to it when my mother passed away, so it was a lot of me venting on songs, me like bringing that up and using that pain and fueling that to keep going and stuff. So the more I kept putting my time into it, the more I started finding my voice and what I can rap about. And I like the fact that, you know, like I'm Mexican, I'm Latino, so it's not too, you see the Latino community growing and stuff, but there's not really like a Mexican artist that's up there in hip hop. So I have a song called Brown Pride saying that I want to be that voice for my people. So I've seen that, and just seeing artists like Asheroth or like artists that just, they're not gangsters and all that, but they have creativity and they can, you know, rap their ass off, and it's not like some lyrical shit, it could be some smooth shit. So you start seeing that there's specific styles, like, all right, now I feel like I can have a place in hip hop. Yeah, I met throughout like performances and stuff, I met like other artists, and you know, and they followed me and stuff. I met Nuncio from Vision X, we started chopping it up. I met him at an open mic, and now we're really close. We talk a lot, we talk about the marketing of it, the way to present myself more professionally on social media. You know, you meet different kinds of people, and then people are just there to support you, you know, whether it be just, not even artists, they can just be regularly made at performances, and I get like people giving me feedback or people telling me to keep going and stuff. So it's pretty cool. And you meet a lot of, you know, fakes and snakes as well. You know, you meet a lot of people that are just two-faced. People that, you know, they have like they say they have the best interest for you, but then they just stab you in the back. So it's the game is like a double-edged sword. You know, it's gonna be good and it can be bad. You know, and it's just trying to find, just analyzing everything, letting the actions speak louder than the words. You know, and seeing who is around you and who wants you to grow, and then who just talks. I guess the only tough part would be when reality kicks in, or when like life happens, like stuff happens. You know, like the time like. In the process of making my second album, it was called Touch the Sky. You know, I was like, had like 4 or 5 songs into it, and then I had I had gotten to a car accident a few years before that.
Seeing the images was that?
No, that was part of the that was part of the video.
Oh, okay.
That was part of the video. No,
I thought somebody was taking pictures of you after.
No, that was part of the video. That was just for the video. But it was a car accident I got into like right when my mom passed. And to make the long story short, I had bought a car and she helped me. I had paid for half of the car, and then she was paying for the other half. She had checks for specific dates, and then she passed away. So all that money that was in her account was taken out to fund the funeral. So and the guy that I purchased the car from, he was a friend of my mom from church. And he was out of town and he didn't know she passed away. So one of the checks went through and I still owe $500. So I was driving around without registration or insurance because I wasn't able to get that. So to make the long story short, I was riding dirty, you know, like I got into a car accident, I hit another car and that car hit another car. And then I was getting sued. So I had to pay they wanted me to pay like $7,000 for a Honda Civic. And I was like, man, I ain't paying that. And I avoided it for 4 years, and it finally caught up to me, you know, like, I didn't know there was a court date, none of that, and then, you know, they took away my license, I had lost my job, so I was broke, you know, I was heartbroken because a girl had, you know, played me, so that's when the light kicked in, you know, and that's what made it tougher for me. It's like, all right, like, I want to continue doing this, but I need to get my priorities straight. So, you know, I went to the boards, I went through all the process of it, I got my license back, got my job back, and then once I got the same job, I got the same job back, and I was like, all right, you know, it's not time to mess around, you know, this is time to just fuel the project. So I went back to the project, and then every week, it was for 15 weeks straight, I was recording the song, and then, you know, I made over 20-something songs for that album, and only 15 made the cut. So yeah, man, I guess that's the toughest part, you know, it's just when the reality kicks in. It's a lot of stuff. It's been going on for years, man. It's just like, losing my mom, my father not being involved in my life, and then, seeing my best friend pass away in a car accident, and he was drinking and driving. So that's a lot of what the video was about as well, the Close to the Edge. So like, just seeing different things, man, and you start realizing, people that have the best interest for you, and then the people that don't. And that's the thing too, I'm kind of glad that happened, because it just makes me stronger and to keep going and stuff. So I'm at that point where nothing really phases me. I don't know if I have like any rituals, but like every morning I wake up and I always, I thank God every day for, what I have, like the roof over my head, the food in my stomach, the fact that I have a job that's funding me to do what I want to do. And for like, I guess I just rehearse a lot. So if I have a show, coming up pretty soon. So what I do is I sit in there, like my room, play the beats, rehearse till everything's on point. And then even on my way to the show, I play the music and rehearse it as well, so I make sure everything's on point. I wouldn't say I have a specific ritual, but I guess I get high too, so maybe that helps. What I'm basically trying to show, man, like, I try to use my life and put myself on display. So like the stuff I went through, like the relationship with my father, me losing my mom, me losing my friend, and talking about the everyday life stuff that I went through and I experienced, and I put it all in music so people can see it and be like, damn, like he went through all that and he's still pushing. So my main thing is to motivate those that are going through things so they can look at my life, and not to even be like, oh, idolize me, none of that, it's nothing about that, just to keep them motivated and be like, all right, maybe I don't have it that bad. Maybe I can see that, I can see what he's doing, and then feed off of that to do better for myself, whether that be with music, being an artist, a painter, being a doctor, or, just so people can realize, like, damn, they don't really have it that bad, and there's other people that have it worse. And that's the main thing, is just to motivate, to motivate the people. I am pretty emotional. I'm an emotional person, but because I've always been a person that, I just hide my feelings. I don't really, right now doing this, to be able to talk about this, I would not be able to do this before, but I was more of a, I would conceal everything, and that's like seeing my mom go through cancer and all that stuff. Like, it's everything. I wouldn't tell people how I feel, because I felt like it was like a sign of weakness. And then the funny thing is that music exposes it. So I was able to get all that was in my head and put it on paper, and it exposes it. And yeah, man, like even once I wrote some of the songs, like the Close to the Edge, or I have a song called Why, where I talk about my father walking out, and then the relationship, how that relationship was damaged. Like a lot of the songs, I was crying as I was writing them, because it's just like, it's the love, it's the pain, and it hurts to write it, to be able to write it on a song, and to record it. It's just, I can't say I tear up and stuff, but I get into that state of mind so that you guys can feel it, so you guys go, oh shit, he's serious about this. So I can't say I get emotional when I'm recording it, but I guess sometimes every time when I perform the Close to the Edge, I feel it, I see I feel that urge, because it's really hard for me to perform that song, but I still get through it and manage to do it. For the most part, I just want to make a classic album, man. I want to put these last albums, I'm not gonna say I didn't put everything, I put a lot into it, but I always try to outdo myself, and I always try to progress in everything, whether it be the quality in the music, the quality in the beats, the quality in the lyrics, switching up the flows and stuff. So I would say the main goal for music is making a classic album. And life in general, I want to be set, I want to have, I'm not saying I want to be if I can be a millionaire, I can be a millionaire. If not, if I could be financially stable, I'll be happy with that as well, and be able to invest in things that are going to bring revenue, so that my kids can grow up without struggling like I'm struggling right now. So that's my goal right there. So music and then life. It's crazy, man, because it's just times where I get my hands are I get really I get impatient, and I'm like, all right, once someone they call my name, I'm like, all right, this is it, So I'm out there, and I feel your heart's beating and stuff. My main thing is I can get through the verses and stuff. I can get through all that. It's just I don't want to miss a word. If I do, I just catch on right away. I'm I don't stop. I don't say, hey, can you stop that, reverse it. So I can't, I'm getting to a point where I can't say I'm completely comfortable, but I would say 90% comfortable. The thing is, I gotta the hard thing for me is the actual part of emceeing, which is speaking in between the songs, presenting the next song, and how to speak to the crowd. So that's like one thing I'm trying to perfect, you know, like it's just another aspect. So the more I do the shows, the more I can get more comfortable doing it. And I guess, you know, you feed off of it, man. It's cool, like, to see the reactions you get, you know, like, and I know that I'm not, you know, I'm not whack, you know, like, I know I don't suck, so it's cool to see the reactions that people, like, you know, make. And it's crazy, like, when you're performing, like, you have to be focused on your lyrics. You have to be focused on your, you know, the projection you're doing to the audience. At the same time, you have to be aware of everything, you know. So it's crazy, you know, like, you're just rapping and you're just seeing, like, you see someone just staring at you, pulling their phone out. You can see someone else right there just bobbing their head. You see someone in the background drinking beer and just toasting up, you know, like, and you see people are like paying attention, you know, but it's just, you just gotta be focused and then kind of like, I don't know, it's like shutting them out, but having them there. I don't know how to explain it, you know, if that makes sense?
It makes sense, yeah, you're in a zone.
Yeah, man, and it's like, once I'm done, I'm like, whew. And then everyone starts clapping and stuff, I'm like, all right, it's cool, it's cool. And like I said, man, I never been the type of person to be in front of an audience like that or to put myself out there, you know, like, I was always like, nah, like, you know, like, school presentations will tell you to present something and stuff, and I never liked it. But maybe because you know, it wasn't something I believed in or I didn't like, you know, like, but this is music, it calls for that, so it pushes me to get out of my comfort zone and then be able to do that. So that's the cool thing, man. It's crazy because like when I was at that younger age, you know, I wasn't really like immature. We used to just joke around a lot, clown a lot, you know, we'll joke around, we'll you know, fuck around with people and just, you know, I was a way different person back then, man. Like, I just like to have fun, I just joke around and stuff. And then, you know, as the time goes by and the stuff starts happening and stuff, you know, like, I would still like to joke around, but I was a little more serious. So, you know, this is knowing, I started being more too quiet, more not joking around was like in high school and stuff, you know, being more to myself, and that's where the music was kicking in and stuff. So a lot of the things that's happened to me, it's helped shape me, not just as an artist, but as a man, you know, like the way I think, because a lot of people that go through what I've been through, I see them in my neighborhoods and, you know, they end up falling into the, you know, the wrong path where they do drugs and they become addicts. They become gangsters. They fall into that lifestyle, you know. And then I work at a recycling center, and I see people every day like that, you know, like that, you know, that been through things, and then they chose something else to fill that void. And that's why I say I'm blessed to have the music there to be able to, you know, put all that pain and emotion right there so I can vent it and get it out of my system. And at the same time, it's not just for myself, but it resonates with a lot of people. So I would see a lot of things that happen to me like that. It really shaped who I am right now. And, you know, I like to be positive, man. I like to read books. You know, I like to give back to the community or give back to people that are following me or even just anybody, man. Anybody I run into. Yeah, I mean, you can follow me on Instagram at Anonymus The MC 94. You can go on my website, it's anonymousthemc.com, and I have like hyperlinks for my Spotify, my YouTube. You know, I got the video out close to the edge, you know, and my username is Anonymous The MC.
Anonymous, and I'm back on my bullshit. Came to below these rounds just like a full clip. Fuck up the program, you should've known, man. Drop bars that are heavier than Roseanne. I'm on point like Q-Tip and Fife. Music is light, so I'm using it right. I choose to enlighten when I'm using the mic. Cause with my words I never lose in life. Like damn, man, throw your hands up to the sky now. And stand up if you're glad to be alive now. Embrace it, go ape shit and break shit. Blaze it and take hits for greatness. Pour one up for those not here in the physical. Cause the fact I'm still here is a miracle. So here I go, flowing straight from the soul. Live my life great, I'm a face of control. Whoa, shout out to the Most High that blessed me to be so fly. And for that I'm forever grateful. That's why I never let my gift go to waste, yo. Something like that. Yeah, I've been grinding ever since I was 18. Struggling to hustle